Sydney Lightning 15. As you can probably tell from the title of this video, it's gonna be about my story, our story, my Lightning story. So the first day I ever knew about her was on our way back from this cheer competition, and I learned that my cousin Charlie and my cousin Linda couldn't take care of their horses anymore, and because Charlie recently got put on oxygen, and in the winter he can't go out and break ice when he's supposed to, or stuff like that. And then my cousin Linda, she got a hip replacement, so it's not hard for her to walk, but it'd be hard for her in the winter too. So they just figured, okay, well, we're not gonna take care of him anymore. It's the best for them. My cousin Audrey has 3 horses there, which is my cousin Linda and cousin Charlie's daughter. So she's gonna take her 3 horses down to her house, and then that just leaves Lightning up there. And so they didn't want her going to anybody that would just do anything wrong. She didn't want her to end up in a slaughterhouse, because we do have them, sadly. I hate slaughterhouses so much, but whatever. That's another time for another video. And so they knew that I was looking for a horse, and so they were like, okay, well, here's Sydney, we know that she'd be good with her horse and everything. So we arranged for that following Saturday, because our competition was on a Saturday. So that following Saturday, we went out there. They didn't want me riding her because she hasn't been ridden over 10 years. She was messed with a little bit. Like Charlie would go in the pasture, pet on her and everything. But she's never put under a saddle in 10 years. She was broke. But then, nobody went out there and rode her anymore. Charlie didn't ride anymore. My cousin Linda didn't ride anymore. So she just sat in the pasture for 10 years. So, yeah. Whenever I went out there, I took my rope halter, that purple one. And, sorry, I think that's my dog. So I went in the pasture. I was gonna halter her, but she didn't really want to be haltered or anything. But then she was like, okay, well, you're not gonna give up, so I'm just gonna let you halter me. So I took her out, and I was petting on her. I was brushing her out, just doing the usual. And so I was gonna tack her up because Charlie said I could, to see how well she'd do under the saddle. So I got the saddle pad, got the saddle, and I slowly set the saddle pad on her, because she didn't really like it at first, because she's like, oh my god, what is this thing going on my back? So I slowly sat it on her, let her get used to that first, and then I slowly set the saddle on her. It took 2 tries, because she didn't really know what to think of it at first, and then she took to it. And then I slowly cinched her up. I walked around and just took time cinching her up. And then I put all of my weight in one stirrup, and with my hands I put a lot of weight, and then she was listening to me. She didn't do anything. And then I lengthened it to where if something would have happened, I would have been able to just jerk my foot out in time, so I wouldn't get hurt or anything. And so I put my foot in, and she's fine. She's listening to me. I bounced even and put all my weight in that stirrup. She's fine. And then we went home. We talked about it, and I really wanted her because she seemed like a willing horse. And my dad brought up the thing about, she's 15 years old. She's almost at her wit's end, which, she has about 15 years left. Which isn't really, because, I'll be 30. Oddly enough, I'll be 30 whenever she's 30. But, Yeah. She might turn 16 this year, or she might have just turned 15. I don't know. But and he knows that I want to do barrels, and he's like, well, she's an Arabian, and I was like, well, they're starting to do a lot of stuff with Arabians, and some Arabians are even barrel racing and everything. And he's like, well, you can't really teach an old dog new tricks. And I was like, well, she has the willingness right now, and so if I start her early and I slowly work with her, you know, she might. But then again, I don't know, because, you know, I don't know yet. Then that next weekend, we went to the barn that I'm thinking about boarding her at, and she told us all the shots that she needed, what she needed. It was a nice, quiet place, so I really loved it, because I don't really like busy barns, you know. And it has trails. It has 85 acres with the pastures and with the trails. And it has an obstacle course. It has an outdoor arena, and you don't really have to worry about mud, because it has like the sure footing stuff. I don't know. And then 5 minutes down the road, it has like this big pony club arena that you're welcome in anytime. It's free, which is really nice. Sorry, that was weird. I make weird noises and weird faces whenever I think. Then we went out there Saturday, and then Sunday we went out to my cousin Linda's, and I got her out, I brushed her, gave her 2 treats right now, and then I slowly tacked her up, but she was fine before I tacked her. Oh, and I sprayed her with fly spray. But I slowly tacked her up, because she was a little bit antsy at first, but I think because my boyfriend was there and she's never seen him before, and I realized that she's a little bit antsy around new people. So I just, like, you know, slowly gave her time to, you know, get warmed up to him, and then I slowly cinched her up, and my mom realized she was limping, but it was only on gravel, so whenever the vet comes out to give her shots and Coggins and fecal and all that, I'm going to have him check out her hooves too and see, you know. But I rode her, my boyfriend on one side, my dad on the other, just in case she tried something, you know. They tried to stop her, but I also had range just in case they couldn't. I would have somewhat of control over her. But yeah, so she was really good. Best horse that I've ever seen that hasn't been ridden in over 10 years. Take to a person in the saddle only on the second day that I ever was up there. But she was really good. She listened to me. Yeah. And then, yeah. So that's so far the story of us, and now you guys are on the journey with us. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.